This video is only one part of an in-depth review, so check out the rest at thegoodride.com. Thanks for watching. Welcome to The Good Ride, where average riders in snowboard gear come together to make beautiful babies. And I'm your eHarmony profile guide, James Beastie, and this is the 32 TM-3XD. If you think that's a mouthful, check out some of the other 32 boots. They're even worse. I actually got an 8.5 and tested that, but then got a 9 because the 9 fit a little more true, just to try on post-testing to make sure I knew what was going on sizing-wise, width-wise, etc. I'll talk about that more later. I got this in a wide variety of conditions on a wide variety of boards, and I compared it against the Burton Kendo and the Vans Baldface. Also rode at the same time and compared it against the 32 TM-2 XLT diggers. See what I mean about the name? Then I compared it against the 32 TM-2 Jones and 32 TM-2. To give you a short summary, this is a really well built, really reliable, really messes with the whole joke that 32 boots last 32 days before they break down. It totally changes that stereotype, and it lasts a really long time. I know this because some of my friends, Ty and Mason at Gravity Sports, have put in a shit ton of time on these and have probably close to 150 days or more by the time you see this review. And these boots are holding up incredibly well. They have more response than you would think for their flex. They have stiffeners if the flex isn't enough for you as it breaks in. And I just think these are very shock absorbent and just a well-built, very adjustable, traditional laced boot. So when it comes to sizing, this fits really true to size. I wished I had gotten this in a size 9. When I got the Jones TM-2, which I got first, they fit a little different. They're a little bit, just a touch bigger, but I still think they fit more true to size. But I thought, you know what, I'll try an 8.5 and see how much it packs out. Maybe by the time it's done packing out, it'll fit more like a true size 9. But unfortunately, it didn't. So I would buy these true to size. This 9 fits me really well lengthwise. For my width and E, this doesn't fit me that well. This is best for size D and below. I think that's its sweet spot. Now, when it comes to heel hold, they have very aggressive J-bars here. I don't know if you can see this, but there is a lot happening right here. Then on top of that, you have 2 O-rings in different sizes here, small one and thin, bigger and thicker, that you can put in this little pocket right here and even increase the heel hold. So these do an amazing job when it comes to tightening around the heel, especially for a traditional lace. It was much better than the Kendo and the Baldface. I felt like you had to go up a step and get, you know, maybe like a boa and traditional lace, like with the K2 Ender, or a little bit stiffer boot, the Vans Infuse, to get that kind of heel hold. So I thought they were doing a great job there. Unfortunately for me, I don't have narrow ankles, and my Achilles heel doesn't need much hold. So this was all a bit too much for me, but could be great for you. If this better fit a size 9E, this might be my boot I'm using for the rest of the season. But unfortunately, it's just a little too narrow for me. Now, when it comes to lacing and adjustability, I love this thing that I think Nicholas Mueller brought this over from Nike when he was with 32 before he was cut, and they kept this around. And it's a great little adjuster here. I love that it kind of secures the lower without having to tie a special knot. and separates the upper and lower, but then you still have all these rungs to kind of tie individual knots on your way up to get basically any kind of adjustability you want. And that's why I still love traditional laces. They even give you an extra lace here. You can replace it on the fly on a powder day and just go. I do like the Burton Kendo lacing rungs a little better because you can wrap a couple times with those. These are one. You can, but these lock better. So it's close. With the Baldface, you just got one rung. It's such an easy tie and a strap. Inside, you have just this internal harness, the usual stuff. And on this, you have a strap over this. So getting it on and off isn't that easy, but the adjustability and the feel of the boot once it's on and good is great. And I rarely had to make a second adjustment throughout the course of the day. So I really like that. When it comes to flex, they give this a 4 to 6 rating. 6 with these guys in here and 4 without them. But I would say it feels a little stiffer. It feels more supportive than that. And it feels more responsive than that, especially if you compare it to 2 other kind of medium flexing boots. The Burton Kendo and the Baldface both feel a little less responsive and a little softer. Let me just show you the Burton Kendo here. I can fold mine. Then look at this guy. Pretty stiff. It takes a lot for me to just get it to flex that way. And then look at this guy. The Baldface has a nice easy flex too. These are more like medium soft. This is more like medium, bordering on medium stiff. And the response is more medium fast. And I really like it. It's smooth, but not overly sharp. Doesn't make your boards feel twitchy. Feels good the first day. And I didn't feel like I even needed to put in these stiffeners, even when I was riding really demanding boards edge to edge. I love my Burton Kendos. The flex lasts forever, but the boot starts to fall apart. You can just see the overall construction just it's made to be lighter, and it just doesn't hold up over time. While my original flex stayed almost throughout the boot with the older pair that I had, that was over, I think over 90 days. But by the end of that, there was a lot of wear and tear on the outside. There were even some little holes in places that were, starting to become problematic that could leak through. This just looks so much more durable. Looking at my buddy's boots after 100+ days, they're holding up really well. And I'm not seeing that outer wear like I saw with my Kendos. I can't speak for the Vans Baldface via experience, but just looking at the outer shell and the construction associated with these are exceptional, and they look like they're going to last a long time before they start wearing and tearing. I don't know about flex retention because these both have these articulating cuffs right here and here, and for some reason boots with articulating cuffs seem to last a lot longer. But there's also lots of reinforcement throughout this boot to keep it pretty and keep it working. Now, when it comes to shock absorption, I really like this EVA foam here. It is really cush, especially in the heel, and it's not too shock absorbent to reduce board feel. So as you get towards the kind of the ball of your foot and your toes, there's less EVA foam, and it seems to do a really good job of giving you that nice balance between being shock absorbent and giving you board feel. I think Vans is the winner here. They have just almost nothing right here, so you really feel the binding. If you're into that, you'll really like Vans for that. And then they have good shock absorption in the heel. And what I found was kind of interesting is this reduced EST sole had more shock absorption throughout than both these boots. It had a little more going on right here, or at least it feels that way, in the ball of your foot and your toes, and about the same or maybe a touch less in the heel. But overall, it still has good board feel, but it has just a little more shock absorption throughout. All of them are good to above average, but not amazing. And I just thought it was fine. And when it comes to traction, you have a Michelin sole here. Never once felt like I was anywhere close to doing the disco splits in an icy lift line, one footing up to the chair. I always felt comfortable and confident. I spent one day hiking all day, and they just always gripped well, even in some icy patches. Thought it was great. Now, when it comes to the footprint, I was kind of surprised because some of the other 32 boots all are a little bit more in terms of footprint than Burton and Vans here. But this 32 TM3 XLT, I felt had a slightly smaller footprint in size 9 than my Burton Kendos and the Vans Baldface and the Vans Infuse and my Burton SLXs. All of them seem to be about the same or maybe just a touch smaller, because this does have a narrower toe box, and I just didn't have to adjust the bindings, my Union Atlas, at all when I switched from Kendos to these or Baldface to these. They all sat inside the binding the same, and I think that's great. You might sacrifice a little warmth, but this rubber liner does a really good job at keeping you warm. I forgot to talk about insoles. They do have kind of a unique feature here. You can adjust the arch support on these insoles. It's basically just a Velcro bottom, and you can go small, medium, large, and extra large, and dial out your arch support with this. This topo thing on the top just didn't feel good to me. I didn't like the way it felt on my foot, my personal preference. But I think overall you'd probably be better with a customized heat moldable insole. For me personally, I found that the Game Changer low profile fit the best in this for me, but to each his own. This might work for you, so it might be worth playing around with before you go and get an aftermarket insole. So overall, I really wanted these to be my boots. These just are exactly what I was looking for. The only problem is the width. They just don't make the right width for me. I wish they made a wide, or they made this a little wider so it worked with those E's. But that being said, I think for most people, especially if you're a size D or a C, these are gonna be amazing boots for you. They're gonna last a long time, and you won't have to buy another boot for a while. All our reviews are a best effort, objective opinion from an average rider's perspective. There's no brand oversight, and we're free to say whatever we want. We send back everything unless it's a favorite, then we ask to keep those or straight up buy them. Now, if you need advice, fill out the eHarmony profile in the Contact Us section of the site. It's the only way I can help you properly. If you want to support us, and if what we reviewed appeals to you, it helps if you buy through our links. So, thanks for watching.